Week 1 of the 2023 fantasy season. Once the dust has settled from this match, the team that wins and the team that loses will be separated by less than a point. Both teams are going to score roughly 129 points, but one team is going home with a win and the other with nothing. Team 7 has two players that are going to be playing in this week's Thursday night matchup, Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Combined, they project for just over 30 points, but Jahmyr Gibbs is playing in his first ever NFL game and only ends up seeing 13 total touches. Doesn't end up being too big of a deal though, as Amon-Ra gets in the end zone and ends up scoring 19 points. And combined, the two end up with 27. But remember, this game is going to be tight. 3 points could very feasibly be the difference between winning and losing. Next up is the noon block of games, where Team 7 absolutely crushes. Christian McCaffrey puts up 25, Chris Olave puts up 19, and even Anthony Richardson does his part, chipping in 21 points. On the other side, Addison scores a lucky touchdown and Nick Chubb puts up a solid game, but surprisingly, Houston is able to hold Lamar Jackson to 6.56 fantasy points. And at the end of this noon block, the score is 113 to 75. Team 7 holds a lead of almost 40 points, and A.J. Brown hasn't even played yet. All they have to do to win this game is weather the storm of Austin Ekeler and Aaron Jones. The Chargers game finishes first, with Ekeler putting up a strong 26.4 fantasy point performance. Huge game from Ekeler, but realistically it's not going to be enough to overcome Team 7's lead. Next up is the Eagles, and A.J. Brown puts up almost 15 points, extending Team 7's lead to almost 27. In fact, they'll win this game, as long as Aaron Jones scores less than 26 points. To make this happen, Aaron Jones would have to outscore Christian McCaffrey, Anthony Richardson, Austin Ekeler, literally every other player in this matchup. It seems like an impossible task, and Team 7 holds its breath, waiting to be crowned victors of this match. So that was a super close game. In fact, out of all 25 teams this week, Team 7 had the closest final score. And even though they ended up losing, they still put up almost 130 points, and you know what, they got pretty close. On the opposite end was Team 14, who were blown out 148 to 82. So, 2 losses, but overall this week was actually a win. We didn't hit 65% games won, but we hit 56. 14 out of these 25 teams ended up winning their games, and on average they scored about 120 points. One team, Team 22, even put up 153. So overall this week went pretty well. In fact, this week would have been awesome, if not for one small detail. This week, Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins tore his Achilles and won't play again until next season. This is an especially sad injury, considering that J.K. is on the last year of his rookie contract and has yet to prove to the league that he can play a full season. The story of J.K. Dobbins' career so far has been flashes of immense talent, overshadowed by legacy-defining injuries. And this injury is particularly sad because he's so good when he's on the field. How good is he? Well, this is every running back since JK's rookie season, sorted by yards per attempt. Of the 65-plus running backs during this time who've had at least 200 carries, J.K. Dobbins leaves them all in the dust, averaging 5.9 yards per attempt. If I sound, particularly broken up about this injury, it's because I've got quite a bit of J.K. Dobbins. Over all of these teams, he's our third most rostered running back. And when we drafted him, we hoped that this would finally be the season that he could show the world what he can do, that he would finally take command of this Ravens backfield and make the world know the name J.K. Dobbins. And on Sunday, he did that for about one half of football. Then it all just vanished. He would have been so good this year. How good would he have been? Yep, I agree, 3 years is too small a sample size. What if we expanded it to every single season in the Super Bowl era? I'm sure that'll make anyone understand just how bad this injury was. So, that sucks. but injuries are a part of football, and we have a season to play. This week, I'd like to award Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, and Ramondre Stevenson our weekly MVP award. Come on down, guys. Great job. We couldn't have done this without you. Tyreek Hill this week put up 44.5 points, and he ended up dragging the two teams he was a part of to victory. Christian McCaffrey ended up contributing 25.9 points to 8 different teams this week, roughly 200 total points. And, well, actually, why, come on, why is Ramondre here? What's up with that? 14.9 points, really? Come on, guys. Oh, he what? Oh, okay. Why didn't you say so? Ramondre's performance this week was okay, but all 5 teams he was a part of ended up winning. So he's kind of like if Brock Purdy won MVP. But you know what? He deserves this. You know who doesn't deserve a single thing this week? Miles Sanders. I mean it. I need to get this dude off of my teams. Wait, did you say teams with an S, like plural? Yeah, that's right. I have Miles Sanders in 8 different leagues. I don't have a single good reason for him being in that many. And he's got to go. And I don't have any resolution for this week, but just know he's on the trade block. And every morning when I wake up, I try to trade him. It's just no one wants him, bro. He's just so useless. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but you know what? Never mind. Moving forward, here are the standings from this week. As you can see, Team 22 put up the most with 153 points, and Team 14, winner of our biggest blowout award, put up 82. All in all, not a terrible week. But one last thing happened this week. Actually, 3 of them. Brandon Ayuk, Chris Olave, and Zay Flowers. We own an immense amount of these players. We drafted them all predicting different types of breakouts, and this week they all proved to us that they deserve a spot on our rosters. Brandon Ayuk led the group, putting up 33 points. Olave put up 19, and Zay ended up scoring about 18. These guys are going to be absolute monsters this season, and I'd imagine holding these guys is going to turn out like buying Nike stock in the 1980s. But the real question is, are they going to be able to do it again? And we won't know the answer to that question until next week.